already, I just want to thank you so much for having me today. It really is a true honor, and I'm sure everyone here can testify that they're blessed by being in this space right now because of you. Thank you. Well, today, I want to talk about passion. Today, I want to talk about faith. Today, I want to talk about stepping into our greatness. You see, because those passions that God put inside of us, they're there for a reason. They're there to inspire us, to be driven, to do what God has called us to do, right? To fulfill our calling. So if we're praying for advancement, if we're trying to step into alignment with that, and we're not seeing results, what's the problem? Why would God bring us all the way here to this place and then prevent us from doing what we're called to do? Now there's a little clue in Matthew 21:22. What's it say? It says, whatever you ask for in prayer, you will receive. It says you will receive. It doesn't say you will receive depending on how I feel, ask me again on Saturday. It doesn't say that. It says you will receive if you have faith. Uh-oh. Oh, that's where it gets a little sticky. That faith thing. All right. If you have faith. 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 Easier said than done. But here's the thing. We don't need that much faith. Jesus said what? He said if we have faith the size of a mustard seed, we can move mountains. He said we can move mountains. Now I love talking about this subject. You know why? Because I'm human. I don't have faith down pat in every area of my life. No. But every time I speak on it, I remind myself of the areas where I do have faith. And I see the magnificence that God has done in my life. And it encourages me, it inspires me to want to master faith in every area of my life. And that's what I want for all of us. Right? As a man thinketh, so is he. As a woman thinketh, so is she. Right? So if we're not seeing the results that we want in our life, there's something in our thinking that is making it so. We are a product of our most dominant thoughts. Even on a basic level, right? What we think affects how we feel. How we feel affects how we act. How we act affects our environment and the results that we get. And guess what? Science is now catching up with God, right? Science has now proven that thoughts are energy and it affects our environment. Think about that. God said he created us in his image. What is one of the number one things God does? He creates. Right. And he has given us the gift of being able to create. But it's only a gift if we know how to use it. It takes belief. It takes action. It takes faith. I retired from track and field 7 years ago. As you can see.
Yeah.
7 years ago when I was 35 years old, I'm 42 now, right? That black don't crack. Right? I retired, but at that point, I'd been in my career like 20 years. So you can imagine I had some mountains to climb during that time. So if you don't mind, I'd like to share with you how faith allowed me to move one of those mountains and create a life-changing moment. Is it okay if I share that with you? Yes. Okay, thank you. So picture with me for a minute. I'm standing in the tunnel at the Bird's Nest Stadium in Beijing, China. I'm 7th in line, single file. They're walking us out to the track, one by one. And as we enter into the stadium, the whole place erupts. It just goes crazy because Usain Bolt has just broken the world record in the 200 meters. And as he goes off to do his victory lap, I'm setting my blocks, and for the split second I can switch my focus. I'm just so grateful. Because in 2000, 8 years before, I was an Olympic finalist. And it was there that God planted that seed. It's like, there's something more for you here. And so I made the commitment and had the vision to compete at the next Olympics, and this time, maybe become a medalist, right? Not maybe, let's do this, right? So I trained, and I was doing pretty good. In 2003, I was #1 in my country, I was #6 in the world, and I was doing good. But then, married, 2 + 2 = 3, got pregnant. March of 2004, which was the Athens Olympics, I was pregnant. So that kind of put that on the shelf. But I wasn't gonna let go of that vision, right? And here's the thing, I was so surprised. The negativity that I got as a result of that. Imagine a married woman having a baby. It was like the worst thing that had ever happened to sports. In fact, the British journalist told me that someone from the British Federation had made such negative comments that he couldn't print them. Couldn't print them, right? But here's the thing. I already had the vision. Thank you. Right? I already had the vision. So the fact that there's negativity out there, the fact that I'm going to be a mother, that's not going to stop me. So I have my son, doing all my workouts, belly out here. I have my son, and then kept training year after year. 2008 rolls around, I'm in the best shape of my life. Yes, I'm in the best shape of my life. I am ready. I'm taking these girls out one by one. Right? But here's the thing, God was doing something else. Because right when I was about to start competing, I started to have setback after setback, injury after injury. I'm like, this cannot be happening. This cannot be right. And this kept on and on and on throughout the whole season until eventually I'm at the Olympic trials. And this is it. I've got one shot to prove to the selectors that I'm even worthy of being on the team, right? So here's the thing though, here's the other challenge. There's actually 2 of us that even have a chance of making the team. There's me, the faster on paper, but from the previous year, and her, the new up-and-coming, fresh-faced, new look, doing really well this year, right? The problem is, because of the Olympic selection rules, they couldn't take us both. They had to choose either me or her. So the bottom line was, I could not let this chick beat me. Oh. So it's the day of the Olympic trials final. And I am mentally all there. You can't tell me nothing. Nothing. On your marks. Set. Go. The gun goes off. I'm going for it. I'm running like my life depends on it. Hurdle 1, hurdle 2, hurdle 3, hurdle 4. Keep going. Come on, Tasha. You got this. One chance. Let's go. Hurdle 6, hurdle 7, hurdle 8. I'm coming around the corner. I can see the finish line from here. That's my dream. That's my destiny. Let's go. But hold up. I can hear footsteps. Getting faster and louder. She's gaining on me. That's okay, stay calm, do what you always do. Activate, high gear, let's go. I said activate high gear, let's go. I said activate high gear, let's go. My legs would not get any faster, they would not dig any deeper. This chick ripped by me like I was standing still and went on to win the race. I was devastated. I was a chocolate mess. It was like the funeral of my dreams. I mean, seriously, I had trained for 8 years for this one moment, and it was over in less than 60 seconds. You want to talk about faith? My faith folded up like a $2 suitcase in that moment. it was over. Or was it? Faith. See, I'd focused so strong. I had so much belief. I had so much faith, and I put so much action behind that faith. It's like my mind just snapped back. Hold up, wait a minute. That's not my truth. That is not my truth. I'm having faith in the vision that God gave me in 2000. I'm having faith in the vision that God gave me in 2004. This is not my truth. And so for the next 7 days, I prayed, not based on my circumstances. I prayed based on my faith. I visualized and meditated, not based on what had happened, based on my faith. And I kept training, not based on the results of the trials, but with the expectation that I was going to the games based on my faith. And on that 7th day, the selectors called me and they said, Tasha Danvers, you are on the 2008 Olympic team. And then God said, I can give it to you, but what you gonna do with it? Seriously though, faith is what got me through. If it wasn't for faith, there's no way I would have kept going through all those challenges and all those setbacks. No way. There was just too many. The writing on the wall said, this is not so. This is not for you. In fact, the decision to put me on the Olympic team was so illogical. It made no sense whatsoever. I wouldn't have even picked it. It made no sense. Let me tell you how you can figure out it didn't make no sense. Within 1 hour of the team list going out to the media, the head coach got 42 texts asking, excuse me, why is Tasha Danvers on the team? They want to know why I'm on the team because it didn't make any sense. But God knows. That question, why was I on the team, got answered at 10:30 p.m. on August 28th, 2008 in the Bird's Nest Stadium. I became the second woman and the first black woman in British history to get a medal in the 400-meter hurdles. Thank you. That's faith. That's faith. That's faith. You have to have faith in your vision. Because seriously, who was I to be on anybody's podium? 15 years before that, I was just some skinny chick, some skinny little girl who got picked on and teased by her classmates, who was sexually abused, whose father wasn't doing what he was supposed to do, whose mother was a single mother trying to make ends meet, not always enough food around, definitely ain't gonna be wearing the most fashionable clothes. In fact, my mom had to buy, as I'm sure many of us have experienced, my clothes from a thrift store and things like that. And let me tell you something. The thrift stores in England, ladies and gentlemen, aren't like the ones here. You are not going to Beverly Hills Goodwill and getting decked out. It's not happening, you know? So of course, she couldn't afford to pay for the things I needed for track and field, for my athletics. I had to wear the hand-me-downs of my coach. I was a 13-year-old little black girl. My coach was a 52-year-old white woman. You can imagine what I looked like. Did not look good. But here's the thing, I say all that to remind you, you cannot let your stories define your glories. There is no circumstance that you can experience in your life that has power over your passion, that has power over the Word of God, that has power over your calling, that has power over your faith, unless you let it. Not your boss, not what he did to you, not what she did to you, not your upbringing, not what your parents did, none of it. Not the fact that you don't have enough time because you've got 2 jobs and 8 kids, none of it. Not your finances, none of it. None of it has power. So we have to get real with ourselves, and we have to ask ourselves the question, where am I holding myself back from living my highest potential? Where is my faith not bigger than a mustard seed? Now, if I was at another event, I'd have to worry, because I'd take this thing out, this little mustard seed right here, and I'd be like, who is selling drugs? But I know you guys know what this is, right? And I've given you all one of these. I've put this on your table because I want you today to make a commitment to your highest vision for your life. Make a commitment to your highest vision for your life. Yeah, give yourselves a round of applause. Not the vision you think you can do, the vision God is asking you to do. And I want you to commit to putting this mustard seed somewhere you can see it every day, whether it's on your mirror, in your wallet, wherever you put it. And any time that little doubt starts creeping in about that vision, the vision that you're called to do, the vision you're not sure about, the vision you don't have enough money for, every time those doubts start creeping in, I want you to hold this mustard seed up and remind yourself that this is all that's standing between you and your dreams. This much faith is all that's standing between you and stepping into your greatness. Father, I ask you today to fill me with faith the size of a mustard seed, that I might step into my greatness and do all that you have called me to do. Believe, act, impact. Thank you. Just one little quick thing before I go. I have a free gift for everyone. So if there's, other than the mustard seed, by the way, the little drug packet thing, right? So if you want a little free gift from me, just pull out your phone, open a web page, and go to www.tasha360.com. That's TASHA360.com. Click on the button that says Contact, and send me a text with your name and your email, and I'll send you a free gift, okay? Jerry, thank you so much. Thank you.
Come on, let's give it up for Tasha. Come on, let's give it up for her. Come on, you got to have faith in the vision. Without vision,